Sybil.
And this is Dad.
And this week we're gonna look. So this week it's my turn to pick one, and I've chosen The Best Sleepover in the World by Jacqueline Wilson. It's one of my favourite authors now.
Yeah.
And Dad, take it away.
So we had the initial idea when we started this that I would pick a story, then you would pick a story, then I would pick a story, and then we just sort of started generally picking stuff.
Yeah.
But this is very much this is one of Sybil's books that I am reading, although, as we'll talk about a bit later, I did read a lot of these books when I was younger. So we're also going to sort of talk more broadly about Jacqueline Wilson as an author. So I asked Sybil to pick me a Jacqueline Wilson book to read, as she's been reading and rereading and rereading her books for a couple of years now. This was the one that she picked. I didn't realise until this point that it's a sequel to Sleepovers, which is a book that was released in 2001, which is when I was 11 years old, which would have probably been, for me, prime Jacqueline Wilson reading time.
I was negative 13 years old.
Yes, you were very much not alive.
If you take the minus away, then I was older.
Yes, if you ignore logic and sense, then yes, you are older.
Yeah.
Yes. I did. I don't remember if I read Sleepovers when I was younger. I don't remember. I honestly, I remember reading Jacqueline Wilson books. I don't remember specifically which ones I read because this was when I was in year 7 and 8 in high school. Sorry. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about the story?
So, yeah, the sequel was released in 2023. I think I got it in 2024.
Yeah, I think it was a Christmas or a birthday, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it picks up with the characters around the same age. I think
it's meant to be a couple of weeks after the events of the first book, I think I read.
So they're not in year 6 yet.
No.
So they're younger than me.
They are the same age that they were in the original book. Yes, they are. A character in the book is younger than you. You have out-aged them.
Yay. So Daisy is our protagonist, and her worst enemy Chloe, with her click-clacky heels, has lost her friends at the end of Sleepovers in the first book. If you want to know how, then read that, because I loved it. You should read it.
Yeah, well,
because I have the Sleepovers first book in it.
Luckily, in the best sleepover in the world, Daisy, our protagonist, takes us through a little recap for the benefit of those children that are reading this for the first time and maybe haven't read the other book, which is...
I did.
More than 20 years older than it. But, yes, if you would like to, then go back and read that.
Yeah. So she is desperate to win back her friends, especially Emily, who's been her best friend for years, and now Chloe blames Daisy, because ever since Daisy joined her school, Emily hasn't been hanging around Chloe for lots more. So she announces a mega sleepover with a swim in the Blue Door Leisure Centre.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember. And a luxury pool and a special makeover for every guest, and a real life meeting with a social media superstar and Matty Rayburn, who did the prance dance.
So he's a TikToker, I think.
Prance dance.
TikTok is a thing that I am in my own head too old for, so I do not.
I need to wait until I'm a teenager for it.
Yes, you are very much not of a social media age, and I'll hold off on that as long as
I'm not even on a phone age.
So Chloe invites all of her old friends, including Daisy's now best friend Emily, but she doesn't invite Daisy, who feels pretty perturbed, which I think is fair. But I personally can't think of anything worse than the sound of that sleepover. It sounds very busy.
I want to go, but I'll just find a quiet corner to myself.
Yeah, but this is the thing. We're not big, loud party people. We
Yeah,
are
but
quiet.
I want to swim. I want to swim. I want to get a makeover. I want to learn how to do a famous dance.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I wanna.
Not my scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, she would never invite you.
No, that'd be weird because I would be her teacher at that point. So I'm not going to a lot of parties.
Yeah, so Daisy's sister, Lily, who's featured in the first book, is a non-verbal and has just started learning Makaton sign language. I don't think I know anything.
Well, you do know Makaton because Makaton sign language is what Mr. Tumble uses. So, for reference, listeners of the audio podcast that we create, Sybil is doing a little bit of Makaton for us and saying hello.
Hello, people.
If you are a parent who has a child who's ever watched Mr. Tumble, or if you watched Mr. Tumble when you were a child yourself, Makaton is what Mr. Tumble uses for his sign language.
Oh, I thought he was just...
He's not made it up, no, it's Makaton. It's actual sign language.
Oh. Okay, so she's just started at a new special school. And this is different from the first book, where Lily can't express herself in the same way.
Yeah, so I read an interview with Jacqueline Wilson about this book. And
An interview?
Yeah.
I don't read stuff like that. I find it boring.
To be honest, I think you would find it interesting because you write your own stuff, and it's quite interesting to listen to authors. Very, very big.
I mean, I am writing my own how to write a storybook.
Yeah. I think you would find it quite interesting to listen to other authors talk about their process. So she explained that she wanted to give Lily more personality in this sequel, and it was difficult to do that while she was still a purely non-verbal character. So I suppose using the idea that she's now started a provision for special needs children and she can now express herself through Makaton. So Lily now is able to communicate to Daisy because she's heard her talking about the sleepover, and she signs to Daisy that she wants a sleepover. So between their friends and the family, they try and outperform Chloe's fancy sleepover and it's Daisy's kind of journey in getting over the fact that she's being left out by Chloe, but also I think a really nice relationship that's shown between her and her sister.
Yeah, and I'm also just going to add a bit.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just gonna talk about the a bit more. So I'm gonna talk about Lily's friend.
Okay.
I forgot her name though.
Is it Natalie?
Yeah, Natalie.
Yeah, I read about
she's emo.
Yeah, no, she's a goth.
A goth.
She's a goth. She's like the before emos existed, there were goths.
Goth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, does she help out at the school then?
I think she's another pupil at the school.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's verbal.
Natalie's verbal. So not all. Typically, for a special needs provision, you'll have quite a wide range of different needs that are catered for. So you will have some children that are non-verbal, some children that are verbal. A real range of needs will be catered for. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, doesn't she work at a?
My wife.
Yeah.
My wife does indeed work at a special needs provision. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna include the best character in this.
Okay.
He's Uncle Gary, and he is a drug artist.
Yeah.
And he comes to the sleepover too, and he gives the girls at the sleepover a makeover. And also, if you were wondering where Emily is in this, Emily is not at Chloe's sleepover. She is at Lily's sleepover.
Lily's sleepover, nice. I like Uncle Gary, great character. Once again, I think it's just another good example, and I think 20 odd years ago when I was reading these stories as well, it was one of the things I enjoyed about Jacqueline Wilson was her kind of nods to inclusivity and diversity in her stories that made them feel quite relatable. And once again, in that same interview, she was asked if she was okay with including a character who was a drag artist in a book for children, and she was like, well, of course I am. So I think she's just, she's I think she has all the right morals as far as I'm concerned, does Jacqueline Wilson, from what I know of her. So I remember reading a few Jacqueline Wilson books when I was in my early years of high school, and I remember really feeling like they encapsulated the awkwardness that I felt as a preteen in kind of year 6, year 7, year 8. It's a really weird age. Yeah, so when I was about your age, I think it's quite an odd age to be. Yeah. And
I like it because I'm top of the school.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. And I rule the school. except just not my class.
That's fair enough. I think even though I don't think as much now, we talked about this earlier off pod, didn't we? But we talked about when I was younger, they were predominantly seen as girls' books. And I put massive air quotes over the word girls' books because I don't think there's obviously no such thing, is there? But I think, especially they just felt like they summed up in a very genderless way the social ineptitude that you sometimes feel at that age as you are still developing socially. Also, the Nick Sharratt illustrated covers. This is actually not a Nick Sharratt illustration.
Oh, yeah. Did they? Because I think all her new books are like by someone new.
Yeah, it's somebody else that illustrates it.
No, we need Nick Sharratt back.
I will.
Need him back. Need him back. Need him back.
I will put the new illustrator's name because it is absolutely escapes me now. But yeah, the Nick Sharratt. Whenever I see the Nick Sharratt illustrated covers, and Sybil has a lot of them, it does give me a little rush of nostalgia because I'm 1,000 years old. So that's kind of my link to Jacqueline Wilson. You're newer to it, so tell us a little bit about that.
Not that new to it.
Newer than me as an old person.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I've been reading her books for ages now, and I just think that, like, I do relate to pretty much everything in the stories, because, like, they talk about, like, school, home, things like that, like people growing up.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of relatable things. She does a lot of stories about kind of either absent parents or parents have split, like parents that have split up. That was another thing that I found quite relatable when I was young, because that was probably about the time that my mum and dad had split up, and so reading books like that was quite reassuring and relatable. And I like her writing style.
Yeah. I mean, like, her way of writing is just, like, so special too. Like easy to read but not boring.
No, they're just, yeah.
It's, like, chatty.
Yeah, really accessible, quite informal, because it's often written in first person. So, and I think she's got a really good voice for that. I think that's, like, the way that she creates her characters' voices is great.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of, like, romp through the world of very brief romp through the world of Jacqueline Wilson.
And yeah, we have gone a bit off time, but
yeah.
I mean, we were happy talking about her.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about Jacqueline Wilson until the cows come home, or for 14 minutes and 16 seconds as we're currently on. So we will see you next week for another surprise, because we haven't decided it yet.
Surprise!
Another surprise. It's going to be a surprise for them.
Or
and
maybe like a...
At this point, it's going to be a surprise for us.
I don't know.
But I think we're going to try and stick it to... the next one will also be a full-length story, and we'll save the short... We'll make the short stories a bit more sparing, because we have done a lot of short stories in a row.
Yes.
Even some, even the one-sentence stories even shorter. So we will see you in next week's episode. Goodbye.
Bye. Literature.
Pages.